Then we start going into orange, you know, for sunsets and things like that. So already it looks like we've got a different colour again. Again, see how this is creating nice greens, lovely bright yellow. Put some yellow into that. Look at that for a nice green. So it's hard to say, isn't it, already how many shades of colours we've made just by mixing these same colours. Let's put some alizarin crimson into the blue. Can you see these textures working together nicely? All we've done is put colour onto the page. You've seen me do it, and this is painting what could be a forest that's lost its leaves in autumn. Now that's still drying the masking fluid, so we'll crack on and let's put some more burnt sienna. I'm going to use it straight from the tube on all these little miniatures. And then again, this is almost drying now, so I'm just going to drip some clean water into there. The same on here. It's a shame to spoil some of these textures that I've made actually, but in the quest for learning, put some water there. So that's virtually dry now. But you've just seen another effect, putting clean water and then just rubbing it with the brush. You see why I've chosen these colours over the years, can't you? Because they're so forgiving and they allow me to do effects. Let's use that brown now. Use it the other way. Let's purposely put some tree shapes in there. That's water, so there'll be reflections coming down the other way. So already we're painting a picture. The colours are painting the picture for us, really, aren't they? Now you see on the blue now how the cloud effect, that's drying off, and how dark it's gone here. Where it's public, you can get an idea of just how dark you can go on these parts. Just take some of that out because I want to move on to putting that on. I think the colour we'll use for there, we'll use blue again. The paper I use, you know, with the same as my colours, I use the same paper all the time. I buy 100 sheets at a time because I know I'm going to use it. It's Bockingford, not pressed. It's £140 is the weight of it, not the cost. £140 in weight, which is 300 GSM. And I find, see, this isn't even stuck down and it's allowing me to get all this water on it. I just find it's possibly the best paper I've ever used, you know, for landscape painting. It seems to suit these colours so much. So let's just have a look again. What's going on with that clean water? Again, do you see the number of colours that are happening? Where it's puddling at the corners, you get a good idea of how dark you can go. And there, if you remember, we just put a little bit to let that colour run into that colour. And we've got very, very light greens going darker and darker. And when it's dry, you can make another wash of the same strength, and then your greens will look even darker still. What shall we add into the blue now? Let's try adding burnt sienna. Now can you see the brown that that's creating? It's a different brown again. That's if you want to start going really dark. And then we'll put some Payne's grey up at the top there and down at the bottom. And let that do its own thing. Now this red, we've not really got much red on the page, have we? So shall we see what's going to happen to that by putting it at the bottom there and letting it react with the burnt sienna? And up at the top with the raw sienna. You see this brown I put on the sienna, it's now created its own branches. Now what I'm going to do now is turn off and come back in half an hour when all this is dried. And if you've done this kind of thing yourself, if you've followed along, just keep the page moving while it's drying, just to even things out a little bit. Not too much, but that's going to take quite a while actually to dry. But what I want you to just take note of is the number of colours that we've got here. We can find more just by dabbing the puddles out. I'm going to drop some yellow in there and let that react, because I might, now I've got these colours on the saucer, be daft not to use them. Got plenty of brown there, so let's use some of that up. Use that red up. I'm liking the way this is reacting. Okay, so I'm going to maybe put the rest of that red in the middle of there. Put a little bit more up there. So you see what I'm doing? I'm literally using what I've put out on my plate to do its own thing. Now I've used it all up. Alright, so I'm going to turn off and then we'll come back when it's dry and we'll have a good look at it.